Live from the heart of America, I'm Steve Gruber, your soldier of truth, the tip of the spear against lies being spewed everywhere. I'm here to fight for you from the foxhole of freedom, and remember to think while it's still legal, my friends. This is Steve Gruber's show. Here's three big things you need to know right now. Number one, I guess it was a matter of time before a song about heavy girls sung by a gay guy would be just too much for the woke crowd. Fat Bottom Girls by Queen, now canceled. Strange but true. Number two, in England, a revolt against the Green New Deal zealots. Citizens chopping down cameras that would record cars and trucks in London that are not ultra-low emissions for fines. And number three, today's question is, where is Joe Biden? Why didn't we figure this out years ago? In fact, long before he stumbled into the Oval Office for a nap. I mean, the old man didn't leave Delaware to campaign. He hid under his bed and ate ice cream when he was up. The mainstream media let him get away with it. They hated Donald Trump so much, they just let him hide for months, avoid interviews, and when he did sit down, they threw him softball questions. The media never did its job. Never vetted the guy they were allowing to get the nuclear football. When it was clear Hunter Biden had dropped off his laptop to a repairman in Delaware and never picked it up, the alleged reporters in the formerly relevant Washington Press Corps diligently ignored the story and labeled it all as Russian disinformation, just like they were told to do. They didn't care if the guy running for president as a Democrat was, in fact, compromised. They still hated Trump more. When election irregularities popped up in key states like Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia, once again, the media clammed up on damning evidence and attacked anyone who dared to ask questions about strange things caught on camera, calling them crackpots and conspiracy theorists. And then, of course, attacking then-President and now former President Trump, who looks more likely every day to become president again, even though the media is in a frenzy again, doing its level best to convince you that these piles of indictments handed down by one political activist after another are somehow on the up and up. Buzzkill, they're not. So why is the press now all upset because Joe Biden slept through the Maui firestorm that's killed more than 100 and left more than 1,000 missing? Are they surprised? Why? Why are they doing that? Because they know it's their fault in large part. They've done their jobs and actually asked tough questions about the candidate, Joe Biden, and the shady deals involving his son and brother and much more. Then maybe the worst president in 100 years or more would not be putting the nation at risk every single day. Maybe they actually understand that the American people get it. And when they see Joe Biden making almost no effort to reach out to the people in Maui that watched a firestorm devour part of their island, they know America has had enough of them too. So more and more you're seeing the American corporate media try to change course, but the damage control mission is far too late. In my opinion, I can tell you that. Residents in Maui not impressed by the visit of Joe Biden at all. 13 days, almost 2 weeks after a firestorm left more than, like I said, 100 people dead, 1,000 missing, and few answers as to what's really happened. Let's start here. Listen.
But also expected to meet a little friction. Not only are people unhappy about the local and state and county response and about the speed of it, but also about sort of the perceived lack of communication from federal officials, including the president, who took a while to make a statement that was substantial. So there may be, as we may expect, a protest or two when the president arrives.
Yeah. There were protests. The old man is so out of touch. In fact, there's protests we can't actually show you because of the language involved. A lot of it. The old man is so out of touch, you'd have thought he was going to a 4th of July parade. Hell, maybe that's what they told him. Maybe he just gobbled up 2 scoops and sniffed a couple kids on the ride in. Who knows? But he sure didn't look like a man concerned with 100 dead Americans on Monday as he strode out of the helicopter. Biden came out of Marine One with a big smile. People along the roads were not smiling at all. Here's a bit more.
Over to my right, there are a bunch of people out here. They've been here for hours. A bunch of them are protesting. They have their makeshift signs, cardboard signs, a lot of them saying, as we've been talking about, that he's too late. Some of them feel that he should have been here much earlier. Other signs that say actions speak louder than words. So hearing a lot from the people here, as well as Hawaiian flags.
I mean, it is truly outrageous. When he did show up, he walked out grinning, then was making jokes and got distracted by some random dog with booties on. Then he discussed his own late wife and child killed in a car accident 50 years ago. 50 years, that's what we sat and talked about. He didn't talk about 114 people dead, 1,000 people missing, Maui devastated, and him showing up 2 weeks later. No, he talked about himself because he makes it about himself every single time, and all the while, the glazed look in his eye stays there. He reads the scripts given him as best he can, regurgitating the words written by the people who really have the power. And of course, those people want to gin up fear every step of the way. The idea of the world being on fire is being fed by a firestorm of misinformation, including dubious comments from people like the governor of Washington and failed presidential candidate Jay Inslee. Listen to this.
Because the fact of the matter is there's a beast at our door, and that's the beast of climate change. It seems like the whole world is on fire. We need to defend ourselves from climate change. We need to decarbonize our economy so these fires don't ravage us. There's not enough fire trucks in the world to protect us if we don't stop climate change.
Oh, there's a beast at the door. That is certainly true. That beast is socialism and stupidity. Brought to you by the Chinese Communist Party, in large part, it is. It's delivered from the time kids are seeing their social media accounts, to the times they show up in elementary school, to the times they see Confucius Institutes on the college campuses. Oh, there's a beast at the door. He's right about that, but it's not climate change. And let's be very clear about Joe Biden missing in action. He's been on vacation almost 40% of the time he's been in the West Wing. 40%. That is by far more than any other president I can find. I mean, I wish I had a free ride and didn't have to work. But wait a second. I guess that's what the socialist dream's all about after all, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. Speaking of Joe Biden being tone deaf to ordinary Americans during times of disaster, the old man, you know where he's never been? You know where he's never visited despite promises to do so? East Palestine, Ohio. Listen.
Why is this cleanup taking so long when some people are still getting sick from these chemicals?
Yeah, John, well, initially the EPA said that this would be done by June. Then it was July. Then it was August. And now, as you mentioned, it's not expected to be done until sometime next year. And those delays are not because of the Norfolk Southern Railways. They're because of the EPA. The EPA, how long it is taking the agency to run tests and to approve plans to actually get the work done. 200 families are still unable to return to their...
Yeah, 200 families can't go home, and Joe Biden can't seem to come off from vacation. This is a failing presidency we're witnessing in real time. Regular Americans know it. They know it's failing, and that's why there are new working battle hymns for men and women in this country, the working people in this country. Don't forget this. Listen.
Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world.
Yeah. New populist battle hymns. You know, created by Joe Biden. I'll be back.